this special edition of ESPN Sports Science. The NFL's top picks are here in the lab. We've designed a battery of tests to examine the skills they'll bring to their new teams. Each with his own blend of blazing speed, awesome agility, and stunning strength. Fairley, Peterson, and Miller. Darius, Pouncey, and Solder. Williams, Amukamara, Dalton, and Young. Innovative tests, breakthrough technology, and hard-hitting data. The NFL's next rookie class takes the field in the lab. And science is calling the plays. This is the ESPN Sports Science NFL Draft Special. When Alabama's defensive tackle Marcell Dareus stepped into our lab, he wanted to do more than just demonstrate his athleticism. He saw Ndamukong Suh throw me around last year like a rag doll and wanted to take a shot of his own. But first, we had to put him through some tests that didn't involve hurting me. And the awesome results are evidence why the Buffalo Bills made Marcell Dareus the number 3 overall pick in the draft.
Marcell Dareus, defensive lineman, the University of Alabama. I get off the ball every play. I call it getting in his jock strap. I like to get in the O-line's jock strap before he even moves, knock him back and put him on the quarterback.
Quarterbacks are trained to get the ball off in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
What we want to do is we want to see if you can bust through our defenders and get to the quarterback in under that time.
All right.
3, 2, 1. At the sound of the trigger, Dareus explodes off the line, on average, in just 28 hundredths of a second. His hands slam into our 300-pound heavy bag with over 2,000 pounds of force. Dareus shreds through the 900-pound cluster of heavy bags in just 0.6 of a second, reaching the quarterback in just over 2 seconds. That's 0.6 of a second faster than ESPN Sports Science alum Lamar Woodley, even though Dareus is almost 55 pounds heavier than Woodley.
Marcell weighs 319 pounds. He has so much mass. He's going through those heavy bags like they're not even there.
And Dareus's hit on the dummy measures over 3,800 pounds of force. The hardest hit we've ever measured in the lab.
Is that possible?
Yeah, that's real nasty light.
But passing our test with flying colors isn't all Marcell Dareus wants to do in the lab.
I really want to come in and throw John, see what I can do high and far as I can.
Let's get a little bit of perspective here. Might be a little bit bigger. Here, this is 2 feet, 9 inches. 2 feet, 9 inches. My 2 legs together are the same size as your 1 leg.
Don't! Don't scare me like that.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ow. Darius launches my 160-pound body 12 feet across the field. At the peak of my trajectory, my head is over 8.5 feet in the air. That's over a foot higher and 2 feet farther than I was launched by Ndamukong Suh.
My passion for the game is just ridiculous. I just love to cause havoc. I like to make people not like me.
It's hard not to compare Marcell Dareus to Ndamukong Suh. After all, at the Combine, Dareus actually posted a faster time than Suh in the 40. In a draft full of defensive standouts, one player who rose head and shoulders above the pack was the winner of the Butkus Award as the nation's top linebacker, Texas A&M's Von Miller. And the Denver Broncos made him the top defensive player picked, going second overall in the draft.
Von Miller, outside linebacker.
Von Miller got it.
Texas A&M University.
At 6'3", 246 pounds, Miller's 40 time of 4.53 seconds made him one of the fastest linebackers in this year's draft.
I think the strongest part of my game, speed and quickness and first step, just initial burst off the edge.
To help monitor his performance in the lab, we outfit Von Miller with Under Armour's revolutionary E39 shirt, which features built-in cutting-edge technology.
This shirt has a lot of cool instrumentation within it. We have this ability to measure heart rate, but then these sensors here will also be able to give us your respiratory rate based on your chest movement. So we'll get a lot of good data from it.
Miller explodes off the line in 0.4 of a second, going from 0 to 19.5 miles an hour in just 2.7 seconds. In fact, Miller's top speed is as fast as some NFL wide receivers, including Larry Fitzgerald.
You just like doing this so you can run into the pad.
Data from the E39 shirt reveals a key component to Miller's athleticism. During his sprint, his heart rate spikes to 141 beats per minute, yet in 90 seconds of recovery later, it's cut in half. This rapid recovery is an indicator of Miller's outstanding aerobic fitness.
When you're playing linebacker, it's a unique position in that you have to defend the run and the pass. How quickly do you have to make up your mind?
You gotta make your mind up very quick. It's like a split second.
For this test, Miller will have to react to our quarterback's actions, which will cue him to either defend the rush or break up the pass.
3, 2, 1, go.
Correctly reading a pass, in only 0.27 of a second, Miller accelerates to over 70% of his top speed in just 4 strides. And he launches to get a hand on the ball 9 yards out. In total, Miller knocks down 7 out of 8 passes. And when Miller reads a run, he levels our dummy with an impact on par with hits we've measured in the lab by All-Pro linebacker DeMarcus Ware. That combination of speed and strength helped Miller lead the nation with 17 sacks his junior year. That's actually more than DeMarcus Ware had in his senior year of college. Coming up, 2 more of the top draft picks, Nick Fairley and Patrick Peterson, are put to the test when the ESPN Sports Science NFL Draft Special continues. Welcome back to the ESPN Sports Science NFL Draft Special. A defensive tackle who can blast through an offensive line and get his hands on the ball is one of the most sought-after picks in every NFL draft. And this year was no exception. Here in the lab, we tested this season's Lombardi Award winner, Auburn's Nick Fairley. And the Detroit Lions continue to beef up their defensive line by making Nick Fairley the 13th pick overall.
Lit up by Nick Fairley.
Nick Fairley, defensive tackle, Auburn University.
There's that man, Mr. Fairley.
We begin our tests with an examination of Fairley's quickness. At 291 pounds, Fairley demonstrates astonishing quickness off the line. On average, he reacts to the light trigger in 29/100ths of a second. And on one start, actually reacts in a lightning fast 35,000ths of a second. Now, it's physically impossible for humans to react in less than 1/10 of a second. It takes our brains too long to process stimuli and send signals to our muscles to start moving. That's why, in a 100-meter Olympic race, for example, a runner who starts less than 1/10 of a second after the gun is automatically charged with a false start. So Fairley's ability to anticipate and react in only 35,000ths of a second indicates a talent for gauging the snap count, a huge advantage at the line of scrimmage.
A big part of your game is intimidation, right?
Yeah, of course.
But you're such a nice guy.
Yeah, I step between those white lines, man. I hit that light switch. I'm not nice then.
To see how quickly Fairley can handle traffic and get to the QB, we've set up a strip test. He'll navigate his way through these 300-pound heavy bags and then bring the hammer down on the ball.
3, 2, 1. Nice.
Fairley bull rushes through the first heavy bag with over 2,900 pounds of force. And as he engages the second heavy bag, Fairley extends his full 35-inch arm around the bag, reaching the ball in just over 2 seconds. That's roughly a second faster than a quarterback typically gets off a pass from a 3-step drop. And when Fairley puts on our custom-made glove, outfitted with pressure sensors, the force of one of his strips registers at over 200 pounds of force. The average grip strength of linemen we've measured is 175 pounds of force. This means it's unlikely that a quarterback could hold on to the ball, when Fairley is delivering 200 pounds of stripping force. And that's just with one hand. We want to know what he can do to a quarterback when he throws all his weight into it.
Is there anything you like more than just plowing into a quarterback?
No. Nothing excites me more than hitting a quarterback. He don't say too much, you know. Keep his mouth closed, get the job done.
3, 2, 1. Oh my God, this got to be against the rules.
Fairley crushes our sensor dummy with nearly 3,600 pounds of force.
How's that make you feel?
Feels great. I got that adrenaline rush. My hair's actually standing up.
Nick Fairley's hit was actually bigger than another gigantic hit we measured here in the lab by last year's NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, Ndamukong Suh.